Alright everyone, hey, welcome to an Indavo art stream. Hey, I'm Nathan Bonner, I'm the artist and creator of Indavo. I also work on the comic Tales of the Big Muddy Monster, a true life story of Murfreesboro, Illinois' own cryptid monster. Issue 2 coming out soon. Currently on page 9. But that's not what we're working on right now. No. I've got some time on this very rainy and windy Saturday to actually do some character creation. And what you're seeing here is a very headless captain from the Empire of the Sword. So I've taken the character of Dogran, who is the captain of the Broadsword, which is Van Graff's flagship in episode 1, which you have not seen yet, so none of this means anything. Anyway, so what I did is I need another captain for a destroyer, which is menacing our valiant heroes at the very end of the episode. So we will create a new head onto this current body. Now, I've reviewed the storyboards, and I don't really need him to turn around 365 degrees or anything like that, but we'll give him a little bit of pivots and stuff if we have time today. But for right now, I'm going to focus on the basic shape creation of the face and how I set up the head and the eyes. So this should be very interesting. If you're interested in Moho, ever getting into it, this should be, part of the character creation. It's not from scratch, of course. So I'm terribly efficient and economic in my time use. Everything gets recycled. If there will be 2 more characters created for this episode, with possibly some background creatures too, that will be from scratch. But for right now, we're just focusing on making a head. So let us commence on that score. Check my volume here. Okay, don't want it to be too overwhelming for everybody, because it can get really repetitive, because that's the entire point, I believe. Okay, with that, so we're going to go over here to our Captain K. I've already renamed him. And we are going to go find out where we want the head at. And for right now, we probably will want the head above the shoulders, of course. So but the hands and the arms will probably go over the head. So this is probably a good layer to kind of start making our faces. We're going to make sure we're on frame 0 in order to create your vector shapes. So we're going to start adding in right here, add in a new vector layer. And we're going to call this epically face. Wow. Pulse pounding. Take off scale composition now. I do this because I've got a certain line thickness that I want, no matter what size the character is. So it's much more kind of like your anime, where your lines are always consistent. Now, in the Doctor 2 animated reconstructions, which also use tweening software, they tend to leave that on, so the lines will get thicker as the characters are closer to the quote-unquote camera on screen. So the larger they are, the thicker the lines are. So I just elected not to do that in Indavo, and yes, it's caused problems, yes, but I believe the result is worth it in the end. The problems is that your points have to be completely lined up. I mean, they may look lined up when they're really small and thick, but once they get larger and the line remains the same, sometimes your shapes can kind of go off of each other if they're not perfectly aligned. So this can be a bit of a problem. Something to watch for whilst we work on this character. So I've enough. All right, we're going to hit OK. I'm going to bring down the layer settings window so you can see what I'm doing here. So scale compositions here, your name's here, and I cannot see the OK because my screen's too small. So I'm going to click OK over here on my second monitor. Always have a second monitor. Okay, so now we need to make a shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with a square. I've got my little sketch of what the good captain should look like over here off to my side, which you cannot see, of course. But we'll see how close we can get to that. He's a very kind of dedicated officer. He is oh, I've got the auto stroke. See here already getting some things. We're going to put the auto stroke on this right here, and we're going to probably go ahead and let's set that auto stroke here in style. Bring up the style panel. It says it's 4. We want 2 over here. So we're going to get rid of the style panel because I don't have the real estate on my smaller monitor here, which is actually like UN tablet, to actually have it open at the same time. So we're going to put a square here. Look at that. See, the lines already match up here. And we're done. Congratulations. Square head. No, wait. That's not correct. What we're going to do here, this is the add point tool. Well, it'll be adding points to our square shape here, which is the base for the face. Kind of rhymed a bit. Woohoo. I tend to put some lines here. This is for where the face will indent in around the eyes in the 3/4 turns. But that may not entirely be necessary on this one. Okay, so once we have those points in there, let's go ahead and give him some. He's got quite a chin on him. Blimey. All right. Let's kind of see what we can do with these guys here. So it's pretty broad in my drawing here. I may have gotten a little Duke Hauser-esque here. Thing about the Molarans is that they're all kind of very tall and thinnish. He does have a box head, but I'm sure that's his hair. I'm sure he doesn't end in a point here. So we need to manipulate some of the points here. So you can go to the curvature tool or hit the C button if you're so inclined. This kind of gives you that. Now we need to kind of get in closer here and get this mess cleaned up. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Well, the ears are going to be coming in over here anyway, so we're going to kind of blow this out a little bit. There we go. Kind of line these up a bit more. Wow. I like for the things to be level, even though this is going to be at this top of the head is going to be hidden by his buzzed off, very, very sharp looking hair. Alright, so we're going to go like down there. We are kind of lowering these cheekbones off what my original drawing here has. I wanted to kind of maybe give him a little bit of a flare out, like he's got some kind of going on there. And a little bit for that cheekbone there. Now his cheekbones are going to be present inside the face at this point, so we're just going to leave that right here for now. Okay. So we're just going to leave things in black and white for now instead of trying to color him up in this cool gray bluish skin that he's got. That's the key. The Marans are cool gray, while the Sulans are warm gray. Both have pointed ears and fangs. The Sulans' ears kind of point forward like Mr. Spock's would, and then the Molarans, or the Empire of the Sword ears, tend to sweep backwards, like several anime elves of a classic period. So, okay, we're done. I'm kind of pleased with how the face is right now, so we're going to move on to some of the other features. Most notably, I believe I always like to start with the schnoz. So, what I'm doing here is I'm typing nose in to the panel, which you cannot see, and I'm making sure scale compensation is off, and it is. Okay, so now we're going to make a nose, and nobody knows about the nose. Okay, so these lines seem a little thick, so I am going to adjust them by using the thickness adjustment tool here to kind of bring that down just a little bit. Wow, look at that. Now we need to add in some points here, and I need to decide which side is he going to turn his head more predominantly than the other one. Oh, let's see. That's a good question. So that's kind of that's what we call a problem. I did not mean to do that. Let me stop right there. Okay, thank you. All right, make sure we're there. Okay, let's get these guys lined up a little bit more here. Okay, so we are going to round up this nose. Whoa, let's make sure some curves in there. Yeah, round up that nose really nicely. Yes, there we go. Okay, I'm going to bring in this one a little bit here. Yeah, and we're going to merge it up there. Okay. Bam. And that is the beginnings of a pretty good nose. Now, because I do this anime style stuff, and we're going to take out some of those that we don't necessarily need. And he's going to need 2 bits and pieces on this nose. Okay, so I'm going to adjust this down a little bit. And we're going to bring that in a skosh. And I'm going to add in a line using the line tool right here. course, I did not do a line. Well, that was great. Thinner. Okay. Don't take out your frustrations on the line tool or your pencil. Many of my drawing instructors have always admonished students not to take out their frustrations on the charcoal or the pencil or the ink pen. And so must we not take out our frustrations on our tablets. Okay, so let's kind of make this look a little bit more, styled up here. It's not bad. There we go. Okay, so these are the line thickness. You can just select all the points in the line and get them uniform, or you can have them go thicker or thinner to taper off. Nice effect. Looks like your pins kind of tapered off a little bit there. So that's good. All right, not looking bad there. Okay, so this is just like a stylistic thing I've done in the other characters. I almost forgot to do it here. So what I need now is I need some nostrils. Whoa, that was ginormously thick. So let's take that thickness down. All right, wow. Okay, there we go. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so I did that wrong. I'm going to copy this guy. So let me grab my select thing. I'm going to Control C. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to delete that guy out, because I've decided I didn't need him just yet. No. So we're going to do one nostril at a time. And to do that, we're going to actually make the nostrils nasty. No. Oh. Sometimes I do talk nonsense. It's okay. Maybe I've been watching too much Tom Baker recently. Can one? Yes, the answer is yes. I'm going to leave that back in there. Okay, so let's get in a little bit closer here so we can kind of adjust things properly. Yeah, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. But this guy needs to come over just a skosh. Right about there. Aha. And I'm going to take down the thickness on this one. I'm going to take down the thickness there. Take down the thickness there. Ah, yeah, that's a nostrily looking thing. Now what we're going to do is Control B to paste the nostril back in. See? Except this won't work because we're not using scale composition. So when this goes up, this line will not be nostril shaped. So we need to make a nostril shape. So go back to your select tool, delete that bad boy out. Okay, let's go to a circle. This is going to be nostril shaped eventually, but what we will do is we will get rid by going to the shape select tool. We'll select a shape and now activate the style panel. Style panel shows up here. It says it has a stroke. We say no, it does not. We're going to take that fill and we're going to turn that fill over to our shape. Now click there and we are done. All right, now go back to your yes. Excellent. Now we're going to move this nostrily shape into the nostrily shaped area here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And let's give that some curvature, just a little bit more nostrily. All right, hey, we have a nostril, and that may be a little bit too much. So I'm going to shrink this guy. Yeah, this guy right there, and I'm going to take the same. Just save this guy. And now I'm going to take both of these guys. Copy them. And we are going to now move them over. Oh, but look at this. Oh, this isn't working right. What are we going to do? Well, here's what we do. We're going to have to lower these shapes behind our other main nose part. So we're going to select each one separately by using the shape select tool. Make sure it's checkerboarded. It's shape. And we're going to go to draw, and underneath draw, it's lower to back. Oh no, now it's hidden completely. But now we're going to get the main nostril shape, and we're going to do the same thing, lower to back, and it's going to be behind the nostril, and everything's a-okay there. Wow. Amazing. It's looking like a nose. So, okay. Before I do any of that, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move this guy over to here. So we're going to position him right about there. Perfect. And we're going to do the second burst is same as the first. We select that guy with our shape select tool. Draw and lower to back. And draw and lower to back. Bam! Alright, now let's go back out here and just take a look here and see how we're doing. Is this nose too big? And the answer is slightly. Now, there's two things you can do here. You can either use the shape select, the point select tool to select all of them. You can either select all of them just like I did with the dragging the box over them, or you could hit Control A, that selects all as well. Or you could have done the layer select tool, which we probably need to do. Anyway, that's an interesting thing. I'd touch that. And you could scale it here too. But what you need to do is you need to set the origin of the nose to be in the middle. And then you can scale here a little bit easier, but of course it's probably easier at this point just to do the points, so we're probably just going to do the points a bit here. You can scale in one direction, or you hit Alt and you scale in all directions, so that's going to make his nose just a little bit down. Okay, so now while we're thinking about that, we're going to go back to Window and we're going to hide the style panel because I need to go back down to the face and take that point of origin and set that squarely in the middle of the face. All right, on our nose, we have we do have a thing I need to do that I did not do on the nose shape, and then let's bring that out to here to where the brows are going to hit. Now, well, the brows are very thick, and we'll probably cover that, but let's kind of just make that go a little bit nicer there. Okay, it's important not just to have a line for a nose. You can if you really want to, but if he's going to turn his head enough that it covers an eye, you're going to need this this shape to help cover that eye up. There's other ways I suppose you could do that now, but with masking or with the various other shape tools that you've got now, but I still kind of like the old traditional simplest way. If it's a very old-fashioned way, I'll have to look into that. Alright, so hey, we have a schnoz. And that schnoz is looking pretty good. So let's go back up to the face level. Check out the face level. Okay, let's go back to the face here. And yes, on the face we're going to draw in his cheekbones now that we have a kind of a nose for some reference here. Alright, so we're going to rearrange some points. So I've got that kind of centered in here, so kind of have some points rearranged a bit. Get that in here. There we go. Alright, line up those points now. I like to remind everybody that Indavo episode 1, Indavo 3.0, or Indavo 3 episode 1, The Mayhem Connection, will premiere on Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. in the live chat where I will expose everything I've ripped off. I mean, all my influences. Yes. All my homages and tip of the hats to people far better at this than I am. Oh, preview of one? Oh, well, so a preview of one. Let's see here. Oh, yes, okay. The very first shot is of the rain, kind of the greenish blue rain gas giant. And it is in system J359 in the Otaris Expanse. Well, this J359 is a homage, a reference to two Star Trek Next Generation systems that relate to the Borg. System J25, which is in Q-Who, where the Enterprise first encounters the Borg cube, and of course the Battle of Wolf 359 in Best of Both Worlds Part 2, where Starfleet disastrously encounters the Borg. I've been combined into one name because I am incredibly cheesy. So I think most of my homages are going to be like this. Pulse pounding. I know. Wow. I know you all feel enriched to have heard that. Anyway, back to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some cheekbones on this dude. He is very terse with our crew. He wants, and to be quite honest, he wants Ratty to be turned over to him forthwith, and he's not ready to take any guff about exploration core floater regulations, about rescued spacers. He's not up for that. He's got his own regulations and orders, and he's going to see them done. He's got no time for this strange confederation. These strange pinky aliens telling him what the hell's going on here. Yeah, in this galaxy, most of my Indavo things have very kind of human-esque races, whereas in this one, there's not a race with rounded ears like humans, and with any skin colors or not having fangs like humans. There are some ones that are close to us, but unfortunately, they have like weird ear shapes, or they're completely red or blue or something like that, or 8 foot tall but look like they're squat. More of that in episode 3. Okay, so I have a cheekbone. I need to duplicate that cheekbone. So I could hit duplicate, but I'm going to hit Control C and Control V to paste that bad boy in here. And I'm going to spin that guy over to kind of mirror that a bit. I like to mirror it right there so I kind of know what's going on. And boom, there we go. We have some cheekbones on this guy. It's looking great. Let's pick up the pace. Let's get that mouth of his in there next. It'll be above the face but under the nose. So we're going to add a new layer in, vector layer, and in the panel that I'm bringing up, say mouth. Actually, we're going to say not mouth, but we're going to say closed, because we're going to make an entirely new mouth set for him instead of using like one of my preset ones. He really only does have his kind of grumpy, shouty mouth. So that kind of makes things easier. You don't have to create a smile one, a sad one, a happy one. He's not happy. He's shouty. He's been charged with a War Master with a mission to find any survivors and recover the contents of this cargo container. And that's what he's going to do. So, making sure the scale composition is off, we have now one that says closed. Closed for business! But this mouth... Yeah, that face is going to have to go down a little bit if I'm going to put the mouth on there. So let me select some of these facey bits here, and we're going to drop these guys down here uniformly, which is not bad. And then we're going to drop these guys down here uniformly as well. There we go. Actually, no, not uniformly. The entire darn cheekbone needs to go down, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So, there we go. All right, to this mouth business. We're going to make a mouth. And... Yeah, we're going to make a mouth. If you're wanting to use the interpolation, you need to make a mouth by making a shape and then cutting a hole in it. We're not... Am I going to do that here? You know what? Let's do that here. Why not? That way, whenever I make this mouth, it's going to have everything that it already needs inside. It's going to have, of course, basically like a rounded shape. We're going to use the eraser tool to cut a hole into it. And then delete the lines except for where the holes, and that's going to be the lips, the orifice. And then we'll put teeth behind it. And then we'll put a tongue and the background of the mouth behind that. And that way, whenever he talks, we can interpolate, and it will look smoother. Instead of just being kind of like jarring from one mouth position to the other, there will be a few, maybe a frame or two where there will be one in between. It's a small effect. It makes a difference. It does. But is it necessary? No. And of course, I don't tend to do the phonetic mouth movements because, like Japan, I think that Indavo should be translated into Italian and Mexican, Spanish, Russian, Lithuanian, Polish, Cantonese. I don't know. We'll just pick anything. Okay, so whoa, that's a mouth and a half. But no, okay, good. So we're gonna get the eraser tool and let's make some erasing bits here. Eraser. Whoa! Oh, that is ginormously huge. That will not work at all. Wow. Let's try 0.5. Let's try 0.5 and tab. Whoa, that's still too big. Okay, let's try 0.005. Tab. Whoa. Okay. That's too small. And okay. All right. Hey, so 0.0050 worked. Okay, so woof. Let's get rid of some of these extra lines that we don't need. We don't need these outer lines at all. Okay, so now let's just take the points that we've got here from the eraser tool, and we shall craft in his closed mouth. Okay, I'm going to say that that is his. Okay, that's there. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna. Ew. Let's take down the curving here quite a bit. Okay, now we have a closed mouth, but it looks closed at this level. But as you can see, the lines don't touch each other, and this is well, that's not good at all, because the lines must touch each other. We must have assurances that they will touch, because when this is blown up, this line is going to be the same thickness, and if it's not closed, he'll look like he's slightly got his mouth open all the time. Mouth breather. And maybe he is. There's nothing wrong with that. But for the sake of what we're doing today, let us try and get this mouth to be semi on the closed side of things. Okay, all I have to do is do a little bit here on this, and we'll just kind of take this guy down here and take that guy down to there. Okay, now let's zoom out just really quickly here and see. Okay, his mouth is a little bit broader on that score, so let's bring that over to here. Let's bring that over to here. Okay. Alright, I'll bring that down to there, and we gotta bring that down to here. Okay, good. Alright, let's select these two endpoints because we want them to be uniform, and we're going to take the thickness down. So, bam. Alright. So that's the mouth closed. But he's got a few other features on the surface of his mouth that we are going to put in. Really quickly here, I'll resize these guys later. We're going to speed up the process just a bit. Wow, I should just leave that as is. That is spectacular, let me tell you. Okay, there we go. Because maybe his face isn't completely asymmetrical. We're not going to worry about asymmetricality right here. Just going to get him into more of a position where he is speaking. Alright, going to be speaking. Oh, nope, I hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay, now, let me rearrange this ever so slightly. Get it a little bit closer here. My big problem is I always try to do anything from 50,000 feet. You got to get in close in animation. And it's, one of my major flaws is the ability not to get in too close. Not wanting to get in too close. I want to just do everything from the top level. I'll monitor things down close, make sure everything's going to be right. Alright, let's make sure that this guy is zipped out. There we go. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking really good. Alright, there we go. Alright, he's got a bit of a chin on him. Blimey. Not quite Matt Smithian, but we, on some of the bigger Chowley chins I've done, for Emperor Dakin, who shows up in episode 3 or 4. I can't remember which one he just showed up in. I think it's 4. No, he's in episode 3. He's very jolly. He's actually kind of a little hefty for a Malaran. He's Emperor of the Sword. He did sit on that throne all day with that big hefty sword, so. But more on him later. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's zoom out. Oh, and also, remember, let's hit save. Because remember, saving's like voting. Save early and save often. Okay, so now we have a closed mouth. Which is not bad. I'll redo that bottom lip a little bit there. Looks like he's been in a fight. Oh, that's much better. There we go. A little bit like Edward Waterfield. I can't shake that at this moment. Getting really thin lips. He would be Edward Waterfield, I guess. Oh, that's unfortunate. Edward Waterfield is a character from Evil of the Daleks, and inexplicably in the reconstruction they gave him these really thin lips. I guess just to set him off from the other characters, I guess, but it does look weird. Anyway, good character. Very Abraham Lincoln looking actor, but that's the time period perfectly. Okay, so the close thing, we're going to go to the layer alter tool. And this also means we need to go to here. Let's put it right there in the middle. All right. Excellent. Okay. So these are the surface details of our mouth. Okay, so what we need now are the bits and pieces that are going to go in the back. So we should take it by levels. Okay, so the first level that we're going to put in here is, and we're going to leave the lines on temporarily. We're going to do the teeth. The teeth. Okay. So let's go into the teeth here, and let's take those lines down so we can kind of get a little bit better detail in here. Not quite as bad. Let's see here. We're going to okay. We're going to put in some fangs and put some curvature in there, just in case his teeth should tilt up or down. I don't think they will in this case, but you know, can't be caught out there. No sir. Wow, those are some roundy fangs that he's got. Let's not have them so rounded. Let's make sure his teeth do go on the direction they need to go. Okay, so we're gonna clean up those points on these teeth here, these fangs. As I said, Sulans and Malarans both have fangs. Plot point. Nah, probably not. Never mind. Alright, so sharpen those guys up. Bam, there we go. Ooh, let's kind of adjust that just a slight bit here. There we go. Alright. Alright, teeth. Now the bottom teeth. Wow. Now, they're not going to have lines on them because I tend to keep the teeth white because there's no point having it. Just muddles everything up. So anyway, but I am going to put some extra points in the top here because these will curve as he shouts on the next versions of the mouth, which we may or may not get to today. We will get the rest of the face done before we go on to this, but I want to have everything possibly lined up that I can. So we're going to put these down to here, like so. Some teeth go down. All right. But for the moment, yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's move the teeth into position. Closed mouth position. Okay, so that seems about right. So we're going to take the shape select tool, select that guy. We're going to go to draw and lower it back. Bam. Oh, we did that wrong. I did that wrong. There's no we about it. You're just watching me screw everything up. Okay, top ones go down first, and because the bottom teeth will be under the top one and the back. Wow. Okay, so now we need, well, I suppose he has a tongue, and he may get shouty enough that tongue shows up. I don't know, he may not. He may be calm. He won't be. So we're going to put some extra points on this tongue here. Gonna get this tongue to be a tongue. Ooh, I just moved. Eek. That's a problem. Move the tongue over to there. Okay, tongue here, tongue here. All right, good, 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 good. Now, I probably should have colored those. I guess I would Go. All right. Style. Our fill's white right now. His tongue's going to be slightly maybe on the darker hue side of things. Let's go right here. Got blue tongue. Maybe that's too aquamarine blue. And maybe that's not too dark enough. I like that. Let's go with that. Okay. So that's his tongue. Let's move his tongue into position. It's not, it doesn't have to be a perfect anatomical recreation of a tongue. I mean, it can be if you're really into that. But for me, for my purposes today, that does not need to be the case. So we're going to move that back. Bam. Okay, now all we need is the shape that's going to be behind it all. Oh, look at that. It's already coming up in this blue color. Well, it's going to be the same color as the tongue, and we can't have that. So one thing we don't need is we don't need any of these lines. Definitely don't need them to be that thick. Okay, so let's just kind of scrooge this guy up here. It just needs to rest behind, rest behind the outer circle here, which is our main top layer here. And this needs to be darker. So we'll go to here. We're going to go down to the darker color here. Oh, if we hit the shape select tool. Oh, sure does. Look at that. A tongue a mother could love. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. Forget I said that. I'm going to select that tongue and the back of the mouth, sorry. And lower it back. All right, there we go. It's gone. All right, so that's the mouth, and we'll make the different shapes of the mouth here shortly. But first, it's important that I would rig this mouth to the bone structure before making the extra ones, because I'm just going to be duplicating this mouth and moving the lip shape here up and down, and maybe the teeth a little bit. So it's going to be the same shapes, just going to be repeated in different ways. But that comes in rigging. And we're not there yet, but we're getting close. Oh, we're getting close. Oh. All right, let's get some eyes on this guy. So we didn't have any eyes on this guy. Let's take a look here and see what we got. All right, let's get the, let's go back to style here and change that fill to white. Can't have that being crazy. Okay. So taking a look at the face here, we're going to take the top of the head, we're going to move that down just a snoosh. Not too much though. The hair will cover most of the top of the head anyway. I guess he's bald. No, he's not bald. The bridge crew are uniformly bald with the kind of Flash Gordon-y, again, another homage, goggles on them, the ancient goggles from Flash Gordon, 1980. An over-the-top, insane movie. If you've not seen it, you should go watch it. So we're going to go above our mouth layer, which is the closed layer here, and we're going to put in a brand new layer, vector layer, and we're going to call this left. No, his left. Let's try that. All right, there we go. So this is going to be the whites of his eyes. They actually do have whites in their eyes. It's kind of weird. The Sulans don't. They have kind of greenish or other shaped eyes. So, okay, so we're going to put that there, and that there. Let's go ahead and get rid of those lines. Actually, probably just go ahead and knock those guys out just to be sure. Okay, so there's going to be a a mask layer, which we will create here in a few scant moments. But first, we need to get another vector layer, and this needs to be called pupil. Right pupil. Whoa, and look at that. That is, wow. That is incredible. We're going to change the fill of this to black. And we're going to take the stroke off. Now, Malarans have these kind of beady eyes, and that may be too small and beady, honestly. Let's see here. Oh, one thing I forgot to do on the no, I did not. Oh, okay, I gotta get that. The eye layer to be perfectly in there, and the pupil layer needs to be perfectly in there. So we need to adjust slightly. Okay, this comes to the point where it will behoove me to actually put some color on the face so I can see where the whites of the eye is going to be. So back down to the face level. All right, let's get out of here. Back down to the face level, do the shape select tool. We're going to select shape. You can see here it's got the fill color. We're just going to take that eyedropper down here to the neck, and pow, there we go. Wow. We can just go ahead and do the nose while we're here, because that is kind of really troublesome. Select all the nose shapes, and we'll do the same that we did there. And pow, hey, this is coming together really nicely. Let's go ahead and do the mouth while we're here, and it'll make it look like I'm making far more progress than I actually am. Pow. All right, he's coming together quite nicely. Let's get that pupil kind of straightened up here. Honestly, he was like way off. Let's use the layer tool to kind of make sure that he's kind of in the middle of that eye. All right, that's great. It's awesome. All right, let's do another layer. Another vector layer. And this is going to be right eyelid is what we're calling this. Okay, so now we're going to make the shape of the eye. Not the eyeball, but the actual shape of the, this is going to be our masking element that will cut out the rest of the white of the eye. And also, the pupil will be visible within the shape, but can't go beyond the shape of this eyelid that we're about to make. So I'm going to make the square eye, because they kind of have a little bit more squared off eyes. It says aggression, perhaps. It's very classic Voltron, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, we're going to kind of... There we go. And let's take these thickness down here quite a bit. We'll play with the thickness individually to kind of make it a little bit more eyelashy. Eyelashish. Not too much. He's not fabulous. Ah, there we go. Oh, maybe he is. Alright, hey, that's coming together right nicely. Let's get that into here. Let's get that into here. Let's get that into here. Eh, that's not looking bad at all. Okay. Now we're going to have two other strokey elements on this too. That will be not masked. Will actually be still visible because you exclude strokes from the mask. Anyway. There we go. And we're going to add in a kind of a top of the eye line here. Ooh, wow. I kind of messed that up. Up on the pressure too quickly. That's a me problem, not necessarily a software problem. Yeah, and besides, you can always adjust these things. Don't feel bad if it kind of looks a little janky. Once you do it, it will be fine. All right, we're ready. Now, so we have what's looking like a pretty good eye here. So now we're going to take these three guys. These three layers, the right eyelid, the right pupil, and the right eye white. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put them into a group with selection now. And we're going to call this group, amazingly enough, right eye. And we're going to hit apply. Now, one thing I've got to make sure that in each level, I've got to go through and make sure that I've got my scale composition on. see here. No. And yes. There we go. Okay, now bring it in here because this is postpoundingly important. So I'm going to go to hide all and apply. Okay, let's try reveal all on apply. Oh, well, that did not work out. Add to mask. Aha! And exclude strokes. Pow. And this guy, oh, the pupil should be showing up. Why isn't the pupil? Oh, he's part of the mask. Add to mask. Oh, I know what I've done. I have made a tremendous error in judgment. Here we go. All right, well. Masking is always kind of confusing. Exclude strokes. Nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, let's go back to subtract from mask. Go back to mask this layer. Click OK. I just click the buttons until it works right. Okay, maybe I've got the wrong type of masking on here. It's always opposite of what I think it's going to be. Oh, come on, guys. We're close. We got Scooby-Doo eyes going on. I hear Phil Victory is almost here. Do a mask? No. That mask. Well, let's just turn off this mask and start from scratch, because this is a load of... Okay, let's start. Whoops. I got this right. The pupils are there, the white's there. There, okay. Well, when in doubt, let's see what we did previously. We're just going to go to recent, or we're going to open the good Captain Doggin. Oh, wait, we didn't mask his head, did we? No, because it was cheap. Has he got a masking on his head? Oh, he does. All right, let's take a look at Emperor Dagon. I was just talking about him. Ah, it is Heidal. I knew it. Okay, so this is subtract from mask. Oh, it's on the top. I've got everything reversed. Oh, for the love of... See, it doesn't make sense. The masking here does not make sense in a logical kind of Photoshop-y, Illustrator-y sort of way. But it's their own thing, so... Fine. Okay. I'll just reorder things, and that will be great. Okay, now we go to here. Masking is Heidal. Apply. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. That's her add to mask. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. What's the next one? Master Slayer's next. Okay, let's go to Master Slayer. Okay, I'm going to Master Slayer. Apply. Okay, and then we're going to go to the top. Top layer is a subtract from mask. I tell you what. Extraordinary. Masking, subtract from mask. Okay. All right, well, and here's what we need to do. Ah, boom. Okay, well, that was ridiculously stupid. I'd like to apologize. What else is it to the masking? And the masking is, we're not going to say that any of those changes. Okay. And the masking is kind of, I said before, counterintuitive. All right, now that we can see his pupil, I don't like it's quite like its placement, so we're going to use that placement. Move that down to right here. You hear any meowing in the background? That is my very old cat telling me that she is wanting to go outside, but she cannot go outside. We cannot go outside because it's raining. She doesn't go outside by herself. Not allowed. Okay, so I just duplicated this layer by right-clicking on it, and we're going to now change that over to the left eye. You'll note that my irritating Windows and stuff's coming up. Oh, now it's coming up on the other screen, so it's okay. Let's call these look at that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of flip horizontally and it flipped horizontally way over there. Let's just leave it there. That will be great. Wow. Oh. There we go. Same thing for him. That's probably why we kind of goofed up on that. All right. Okay, so now let us go back and see what we got here. Wow! This guy doesn't look very serious right now, let me tell you. But let's make him look a little bit more serious, shall we? Okay, now we're to the nitty-gritty part of this. And, since we're just right here, let's go ahead and select out some. There we go. All right, selecting out the color. We're gonna put those guys in there, and I don't know, that may be enough. Malarans, as a species, have a very thick brow line. Not quite Klingon-esque, but still. Okay. Let's, take that down. All of that down just a bit. Select all. And let's take this down. Escosh. Okay, let's hide the ones we don't need. Alright, and let's add a little bit of curvature onto this guy right here. Maybe not too much curvature, but just a bit. Go. Whoa, how is that? I tell you what, that is pretty damned amazing. No, it's not. Anyway. Perpetually angry face. Check. Let's get another brow here. We're going to duplicate that layer by right-clicking on it, and we're going to rename that. No. Oh, got to make sure scale composition is off. Compensation is off. Yada, yada, yada. Apply. All right, let's move this guy over. There we go. Bam. Nice. Scale composition over that guy. Okay. It's off on the eye. No, it's not. Apply. I think the scale composition is off on all the various parts inside the eyes. They are. Okay, hey, I kept up on that. All right, so hey, we're looking pretty good here. This guy is seems quite serious. Slight adjustment on the brows. Make that just a little bit more sharper. And these kind of peel off those guys a little bit more. There we go. Same thing here. Should have done this before I duplicate, but yeah, sometimes you have to do things post fact. It's okay. All right, well, I think he needs some ears. I'm gonna save this guy right quick, and we are going to grab some ears. We're going to grab some ears that exist. As really, is there any true purpose in recreating from scratch an ear? And I say, yeah, probably not. So we're just going to copy here on Dahlgren's ear, and we're going to go to Dahlgren's ear, and we're going to hit under the face. Right ear is what we're going to call this. And really, up on the window, which you guys can't see because I just can't select in the layers panel. Okay, so here I've got my oh shoot. Dang it. Okay, well, I have to leave that out again because I was on somehow frame 6, so it's not counting as a frame 0 layer, therefore I could not draw as that layer, which, whatever. Whoa, look at that. Okay, we're gonna go over here. This guy's ears are a little bit longer. Your standard malaria ears. Yeah, we're gonna put that right here, and then I'm gonna adjust some points to make sure that we have the proper overlap. Now we're going to go back to the face. Aha! And a few more points to that face here. Cunning plan all along. Wow, look at that. Tell you what. Genius. All right, let's make sure that is adequately lined up. Adequately lined up to me. All right. Perfect. All right, we're going to duplicate this guy out. And we're going to use the flip horizontal. I'm going to actually show you where that's at. All right, if you go to your layer settings, you flip horizontal and kind of previews what it's going to look like. You click OK, and now you just grab your layer tool and you just drag this guy into position, holding down a shift key to make sure you don't lower or raise. And this guy, better, much better. There we go. All right, well, let's do some realigning of those here. Okay. Taper these down just a bit. There we go. That can go up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Not bad. Now, looking at this head, it's not bad. It's not really too bad. All right. Hey, let's finish this guy off by putting some stuff with his brow. Forgot something. Dang it. All right, well, he's got some stuff on each brow that needs to be added in. So let's go ahead and add these guys in. All right. Oops, wrong one. Meep. There we go. Let's add an extra line in there just in case, you know. Give a little bit of curvature. All right, there we go. Let's shrink this down. How? All right. I'm gonna add these two guys. Copy. To the left brow. Paste. Oh, look at that. Wow. Perfect. Very goblin-esque, isn't he? Look at the original drawing. Not quite so goblinoid in the original drawing. How does one fix that? Well, let's turn that into here. Let's broaden out that chin. All right, and let's see what we got here. Broaden that chin right there. Ah, there we go. Hey, a little bit better. Okay, so above everything else, at the very, very top of all of this, yeah, is his hair. The final bit of the head that we need to wrap this bad boy up. Yeah, scale composition needs to go off. Make sure that is unchecked. Then click OK. Okay, so for his hair, we're just going to put that right there. This is going to be a little bit more complicated. Now, okay. Even though he's not having a head turn, I'm changing my mind about the placement of this. This is going to be behind everything else. This represents his hair back, so if we ever had him change his... If I did decide to have him turn his head completely around, this would be a lot kind of better way of handling things. Wow. Oh yeah, now he looks like Guile. Which is the effect that we were going for all along. Thank you for coming. No. It's close. Make sure that those are inside those lines. We're going to add in a few other guidelines in here to kind of maybe that kind of. But generally speaking, yeah, that's not really too bad. Let's kind of bring that in a bit. Oof. Alright, let's check his hair color. Alright, checking the sketch. And it looks like he's got a kind of a... on the blue scale. Blue scale here. About... there go. Let's see what we've got. Yes. Excellent. Now, before we go on to that thought that I was just about to have, let's go ahead and finish while we still have the unmarred color sideburns. I know what you're saying. Could you not do all of these things on one layer? You could, and then you could animate them indeed. Either by using point or bone rigging animation could do all this on the same layer, except for, of course, how I did the eyes. You could cheat and do the eraser tool thing on the eyes too if you wanted to. But I find that doing everything on layers helps because you can use layer manipulation and point manipulation at the same time when you're rigged to bones. So that really helps you in your 360 degree turns, which work 365 days a year. Yes. Nice recovery. So anyway, side burn. Side burn. All right. Ooh, scale compensation's not off on that. Very important. I'm completely certain that there's a way to kind of get rid of that too. All right, since I still have that color up on that sideburn, is it going to be in the? Womp. It did not work. But hey, I get that color there, and we're good to go again. Let's bring down the lines a bit, but not too much. So just moving the points around to kind of find what you're looking for drawing wise is all part of the gang. Part of the game. Let's see here. And hey, there we go. And I don't want to be in there. Let's sharpen this point down. Hide that line there, and we'll do the same on these guys here and here. Maybe not so much there. Yeah, maybe not so much there. Maybe we do want that. Oh yeah, we definitely want that thick. Bingo. Okay. And we're going to duplicate that layer. Uh-huh. And we're going to double click that, and we're, of course, scale composition story off because it's a duplication, and we're going to click flip horizontally, and that flips that horizontally. Not into place yet, but it definitely will be. Layer manipulation tool. Slide that guy into place, and hey, we're looking good. Okay, now let's wrap this guy up. Ooh. Needs to go over just a skosh more. All right. The last layer for the head. Fix. Sketch drawing. Indeed. The last layer for the head is going to be the hair front. Little thing we like to call hair front. Or bangs. That's really just the front of his buzz cut, so it's nothing really spectacular. All right. Be adding quite a few more points into this, don't you worry. Okay, we're going to hide some of these lines because we don't really need them to be showing like that. And, oh, well, that's going to cause a problem, isn't it? Or is it? Causes no longer a problem. Sometimes you have to cheat a little bit. It's okay. It's fine. Nobody will know unless you're telling the entire world. Dang it. All right, so I don't quite need the top of his head to be quite as top as that. So like one of those jobs there, and let's take a look at our captain. Wow, look at that head. That is great. Now, we're going to take all the layers I've created today, let's see, hair back up the bangs, and I am going to add them into a. No, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not. Not just yet, but I will very soon. I will very, very soon. We're going to. Yeah, we're going to rig all these guys up to the bone that is here. Hey, so now we're into rigging. Yay! All right, so you can see this weird bone off to the side here. This is the my head control bone, which will control the tilt of the head, which is very important. I need to go back and put one on Indavo and Rachel because I did not used to do that, and I started doing it, and they don't have it because they're older models. As happens. So anyway, so how we're going to do this? Okay, so we go to hair back. We got the bone selected. We're on the hair back layer. And we're going to select these points with that. So, and then we're going to hit bind points. Bam, that's done. We're going to do this for everything. We're just going to go through these guys. Aha, now we can make that mouth. Oh, now we have to go to each and every single one of these sublayers, which you used to not be able to do. So that's why I haven't done the mouth layers. I suppose you could do it if you had multiple mouth layers in a mouth folder. You could go back and do it. You used to not be able to do that. But Moho has made improvements over the years. I've been working with this software since 2014, so 11 years. They have made a tremendous amount of improvements, and it is very versatile and powerful software. Results you see here are the results of my skill, your skill level. They get better results. Wild disclaimers. Okay, let's bind up some points here. It's important to get all of them together because if you don't, when you move the head, things will not move with the head. That looks pretty bad. I mean, any model, whether it be a twinning model like this or a 3D model, if you push it too far, you will break it. No model is perfect. You've got to have boundaries on all of your models. Working within those boundaries is the key to being, I have found, to being semi-successful in these. Okay, hey, we've rigged everything. Now, I'm going to go back to the top hair here. And I am going to add in, should I? On the face level. Oh, that nose. Something happened on that nose. What happened on that nose? Oh. Dang it. Put it back. Oh no. What's going on here, guys? Absolutely spectacular. So I had somehow filled in the nose nostril here with the skin color, and therefore it became invisible. And well. Alright, well, let's go to the hair back before we do anything else. And there's a couple of things I want to do here. One is I'm going to select this guy right here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to choose that. And that should be okay. So what I'm trying to do is a little bit of highlighting here on his head, and that's not working. Well, sure showed up. Okay, well, never mind. I'll just do that in post, as I say. All right, now for the true test. Let's see if this all works. I'm going to put him, all these face layers from hair back to bangs. Go to a plus group with selection. Everything gets put into layer 30. Layer 30 gets called the head. Scale compensation gets turned off on that as well. All right, there we go. Let's see what we've got here, shall we? A little bit of bone manipulation. Oh, look at that. He can tilt his head, and it moves with the neck. That's great. Now, is his head a bit too big for his body? Perhaps. So let us go to here, and let us shrink his head down just a skosh. Now let's reset view. Not bad. Not bad, not bad at all. It still needs a little bit smaller. Okay. We're ready to rock and roll. On to the next phase here. Hey, he's not looking too bad. Remember to save. Looks like we're going to go just a few more minutes here and finish up these mouth movements. And then next time when we meet, we will probably discuss the rigging of the smart bones. Oh, yes. These control your eye movements, your eyebrow movements. They could control your mouth movements as well. And, of course, the head up and down, where you tilt the head up and down, and also the head turn movements, which he will have slight ones. He does not need to turn his head all the way into profile from portrait, but he does need that three-quarter view probably for just a little bit of acting ability whenever he is yelling at the crew of the adventure. Yeah. So we're going to go to our closed level, and we're going to go back to our group with selection. All right. So now let's get in close. So we're going to select closed, and we're going to duplicate the layer, and it says closed 2. We're going to get rid of that closed, and we're just going to leave it as 2. Now, the layers will be from closed, 2, 3, 4, and then wide will be the 5 layer settings. This is the standard kind of the mouth flaps pioneered by the Japanese great masters, which is interesting because when you look at some of the older, much older anime, Eighth Man or Speed Racer, they are still phonetic movements in the lip movements. Sometime in the late 60s to early 70s, I think, is when the Japanese decided to just go with the 4 mouth positions. For one thing, it's cheaper and it's easier to do lip sync. Therefore, it's easier to retranslate into another language, because the Japanese always had an idea that their works would be sold to other countries and then localized. I don't think their creators really cared much if Satoshi got renamed Joe or Franco or whatever, just as long as they were getting paid for it. Okay, so we need to find our lips here on 2. Here we go. So he's going to start opening his mouth here. I got the wrong one going here. Where we go. There we go. This is going to be a slight opening of the mouth here. Okay, so one thing I didn't do on the others, which I need to do right now, is I need to go here, and I need to take off the stroke. I need to go here and take off the stroke. Now my teeth are there, and they don't have any stroke. Should the tongue have a stroke? Ooh, a good question. The cat's whining again. Yes, I know. It sounds terrible, but she's just whining outside. But alas, it rains. You know what? I think I am going to go ahead and take the stroke off the tongue too. It's going to be there, but it'll just be more of a color shape in the background. It's not really too incredibly pertinent that we have that 100% on there. Okay, so there is mouth movement 1. But some other things have got to move with that mouth too. Most notably these guys right here. Nope, not that guy. These guys right here need to go. Downward ever so slightly. Oh, you'll notice that the bottom layer is visible there because this is going to be turned into a switch layer, and so only one layer at a time will be visible. For right now, you'll see multiple layers pop up from that. It's okay. It's okay. All right, so now we're going to duplicate layer 2 and build off the progress of that mouth opening that we made here. Change that from 2 to 3, and we're going to say that he is really going to be getting kind of on the shoutier side of things. This is going to be counted as more of a shout, a mouth movement, than anything else. So we're going to get kind of really open very, very quickly. Ooh, helps if I select the right point before I start moving things around. All right. So let's snarl those lips up just a little bit here. These guys, no, let's not do that. Let's pretend like he's actually got very good. Now as those not bad, not bad. Okay, we're going to duplicate that layer. And we're going to build off that. Hide 3, change 3-2 to 4. And now we're getting into the really, 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 really big mouth movements here. So let's kind of see what's going on so I don't run into the bottom here. Yeah, this is looking good. Bring that down. We're going to move some of these points around here just a little bit to kind of make sure that we're kind of getting definitely that he is shouting. And his teeth are kind of curving downward as he opens his mouth. And let's lets the crew of the adventure know that he is not happy in the least. Just like that cat of mine. Whoa. Funny. Alright, let's move that tongue down just a little bit so we can kind of get a little bit more. Down. All right, we are ready to duplicate out this layer to the final mouth movement layer. Too wide. It's pretty wide already. Okay, let's see what we got here. That seems really shouty. All right, hey, so we have, I'm going to change this now. Double click on this, and what we're going to do is I'm going to bring this around here so you can actually see it this time. We're going to change this to mouth. Usually it would be like shouty, and then there would be another mouth layer so you could switch between the different ones. You can take off scale composition. Compensation as normal. Okay, so there we go. And now I'm going to take this back, and I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to go over to here, and I'm going to right click on this, and we're going to change this to switch. And now we're going to set that switch to here. Bam. Well, all these guys have got to be visible. And now, as I work through the switch layer, you'll see that his mouth gets more and more. Oops. Wider with each shouting moment. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of alteration on that because I didn't really move these guys any. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Bam. Whoa, well, I can't really tell how that looks like here, but that's a pretty good look. A serious captain on a serious mission. Given to him by a serious but majestic commander. Now there's one thing that can be added to this to finish it off really quickly, and it's a bit of a postscript here, and that is the fact that it's not any face shadows or a nose shadow, so we're going to add a face shadow on the side and a nose shadow. It'll be fine. Let's go back down to face, and we're going to make a new shape layer on the face. Off the side for right now. I'm going to take off the auto stroke. Oh, dang it. Take off the stroke, and then we're going to go to fill color. We're going to go down to here. Okay, but now we're going to double click on this guy. Double click on this guy and bring this up to here. And we're going to change the opacity to about halfway. We can see through it. Okay. And now I'm going to actually, before I do anything else, I'm going to copy the shape because we'll use the shape on the bottom of the nose as well. All right, well, let's move this guy into position. See? Oh, look at that. But as you can see, you know, it does go around the eyes. Just 1 second, I'll fix this so that it actually is somewhat decent. let's start adding in. Ooh. Okay. Be careful about that. Adding points to the face, eh? Mm-hmm. 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 Let's see how this works. Line these up as best as possible. So far, so good. Actually, I don't need that guy to run about there. Fix those in just a second here. There we go. Make sure that's all kind of in there. And let's kind of get closer, much closer. Oh, wow. Okay. Try and match these lines up as close as I can possibly get, because this will save a lot of time and effort once I get into the animation thing, and we have blowing this guy up to be huge on the screen. Alrighty, so that is the side of his face. Okay, but we have a problem. Ooh, yes we do. We have to go back to that bone. That bone is still selected, so we have to make sure that all these guys are bound in points. Okay, last bit for today. Let's put that nose shadow on him and see what we got. Oh, well, I shouldn't have gotten that close because I put it off to the side. Right there. It's got to have a shadowy mustache. We don't need that many points added to this, honestly. It's going to be pretty straight forward nose. Select all points and bind points and bam! Let's check this out before we call it quits today. So back up to the bone layer. Okay, so here it is. Captain of the Kierden. A very serious looking fellow. Let's see how these bones react. So far. He seems pretty good. All the points are following the bones, which is what you want. Alright, hey, so next time there will be control bones for his eyebrows, pupil movements, the blink, and his head up and down and head side to side. Not a full turn, but he'll be able to pivot just a little bit to 3/4 view on each way. And that's all that he will need, and he will be ready for action in episode 2, which, you know what? It's 2 weeks to the premiere, but I'm already starting working on assets for episode 2, this guy in particular, but an asteroid field is something I've already created. There are a few other full characters that will need 360-degree rigging done. And I do have to do some corrections on some of the older characters, as I mentioned before. But that's the art stream for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. Remember, the premiere for Indavo 3 Episode 1 is Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. on the Tube of Views. All right, thank you.